This is the story of MUNGAI, a Kenyan online influencer and star who started from scratch to work her way up to the top. She is a role model to girls in the Kenyan ghettos and an example of how passion and smart hard work pay off. Currently, she commands 180,000 followers on YouTube and 780,000 followers on Instagram. Despite all these, her journey to the top was not easy. It was a journey full of setbacks, hurdles, and pullbacks. Nowadays, MUNGAI stands as one of the most influential females in Kenya. From a simple village girl to a personality in a multicultural, metropolitan, 8-figure dweller city. Before I delve into the story of Eve, please remember to subscribe, like, and share, because this is the only way you can help us bring you content of this kind. MUNGAI was born and raised in Murang'a County. Her journey began back in 2019 when she was 20 years old. She traveled to Nairobi to pursue a course in journalism at a university in Juja, Nairobi. According to an interview Eve gave, this was her first time ever to travel into the heart of Nairobi. Before that, she could only travel to Roysambu, a residential area on the outskirts of the city. By that time, her ex-boyfriend Trevor was a fourth-year student at the university. This is the way they crossed paths with Trevor. At that time, Eve was dating her high school boyfriend and Trevor was dating his high school girlfriend. Something sparked between the two and they became friends while still dating their lovers. After only one semester of her studies, the health situation of 2020 broke out and the whole world changed. The college was closed and Eve traveled back to the mountain, while Trevor traveled back to Kisii, where his roots are. The situation that many people thought would last for a short period was not ending, but extending and getting worse and worse every day. The schools, clubs, restaurants, churches, and many more public places were closed. Even the movements of humanity were restricted. People were broke and staying home was becoming challenging and depressive. Trevor had landed a gig at the national broadcaster and traveled back to the city in July 2020 and thought it wise to have her back as well to figure things out together. After a 6-month stint at home, she came back to Nairobi in September 2020 on Trevor's invitation. To be able to travel to Nairobi, she lied to her mom that schools were reopened and she was recalled back to Nairobi. Immediately, she got a go-ahead to travel. Eve knew she wouldn't be coming home back soon. As a village girl who had already tasted the city life, she was just tired of the boring village life. She just packed her bags, boarded the bus, not knowing what Trevor had for her in store. Eve initially wanted to study education, a course that her dad was pushing for. But her love for journalism was just too big. And when she met Trevor, she was so inspired by his know-how on handling cameras, videos, editing, and directing skills. This made her love the media course even more. Their passion for journalism cemented their relationship that they each separated from their lovers and became couples. By this time, one day, Trevor told her there was something special he could see in her. Eve was perplexed. She never expected this. A simple, broke village girl, very new in the city, and hear a guy saying she had something very special. At first, she thought Trevor was joking and was trying some old-school pickup lines on her. When she asked what was that Trevor saw special in her, he told her there is something he thought she can handle perfectly. And that is how MUNGAI Eve's YouTube channel was born. Here was a girl from the village who was idle, broke, and knew nothing about modern technologies, and before her, a guy who could handle cameras, edit videos, and a city dweller and he was telling her about YouTube. Eve did not even know what YouTube was. She even asked Trevor, "What is YouTube?" By that time, MUNGAI Eve was not even active on social media. Trevor opened for her an Instagram account. She was then a true definition of a true African village girl. Eve did not hesitate to accept the challenge and accepted the idea. Trevor stood behind the camera while she did what she loved, namely talking and asking people questions. At first, they would attend Genton festivals and interview people there. At first, she was nervous, but with time, she became stable. At that time, Mbogi Genje were the talk of the town and were trending all over Nairobi. The Sheng language they were rapping in was a crowd puller among the youth. Their rapping language was so complicated and hard to decipher. This made Mbogi Genje unique and loved by the youth. Trevor knew exactly on what kind of hype to ride on so that they could get views and subscribers for their new YouTube channel. It was hard at first. They had to face the challenges of finding people before the cameras for interviews about Mbogi Genje. But the passion was there and they kept on. During one interview, one interviewee suggested that they should go and interview a rival group of Mbogi Genje. The group and Mbogi were once friends and were by that time beefing over stolen lyrics. This group was the Goda City group led by the self-proclaimed Sheng president Madocho. Eve and Trevor landed the interview and boom, this was their breakthrough. The interview hit the city like thunder. Madocho hit back at Mbogi Genje, accusing them of stealing their lyrics. Madocho came in with one fist salute, Ngumi Nijamo, and it became an anthem in town. The video hit views and brought even more subscribers into the new channel. MUNGAI Eve's YouTube channel was the talk of the town. With this one interview with Madocho, more and more ghetto artists started to invite MUNGAI Eve to report about their hood culture and music. Eve moved to Kibera, Dondora, Matari, where one of her gadgets was stolen. Even our music studio, Culture 808's Studios, invited her to promote the then new studio. We remember that day like yesterday. Eve and Trevor came on a motorbike taxi, even though Culture 808's boss had sent them an Uber transportation fee. But we knew she was still a hustling college girl and we were happy that she came. Eve came with an artist from Kibera. This was nobody other than Shanti Bobo. In Kibera is where she met Manzi wa Kibera. The controversial lady was looking for fame and Eve was looking for content that could bring in more followers. Manzi wa Kibera was the perfect choice. They made content, gave Manzi wa Kibera the platform of being famous, and they achieved their goals with this. Later on, Eve moved to accompany comedian Eric Omondi. They traveled all over Kenya with Eric and this made her even more famous. But the success did not come that easy. As I said before, her camera was stolen in Matare. Mbogi Genje didn't like the idea of her interviewing their rivals and even threatened her. Zero Sufuri. The rapper abused her openly on social media for interviewing a ghetto group that accused him in the interview of running away with 20,000 shillings they had paid him for a collabo.
Umesota na bado unakataa, we panya, Mbogi ni mbaya, Mbogi inanuka, urudishe 20k, panya wewe.
By the time Eve and Trevor separated, the channel was having over 750,000 subscribers, and the name Eve was a brand in Kenya. Her real name was Evelyn, and friends used to call her Eva. It was Trevor who rebranded the name to Eve because he thought it had a brand potential. Eve has since separated with Trevor. Trevor maintained the channel and renamed it to Kenya Online Media. Eve opened her new channel, and in a few days, it had broken records in Kenya to become the first channel with thousands of subscribers and without content in it. Eve and Trevor have played a vital role in bringing many underground artists into the limelight. The list starts from Madocho, Stupid Boy, Mito, Shanti Bobo, Manziwa Kibera, and many more. So guys, this was the story of Eve. If you liked the documentary, please subscribe, like, and share. And tell us please in the comment section who should be next on our documentary. This is Culture 808's Nairobi. Thank you for watching to the end, and see you in the next video.